I wonder what the fuck the real dialogue is. What the fuck is this thing? All of the windshield, for fuck's sake. Oh, fuck. What the fuck did I say? That didn't sound for shit, did it? And here, under the hood, we've stored something that'll really come in handy if it doesn't fall out and break my leg. What we're doing is we're building a fucking industrial film. Trying to give these guys everything they can get. I mean, that's it. Fuck it. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. We suppose we open... Gotta do it again, right now. Oh, fuck. 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 Oh, fuck. Shit. Tony, do me a favor, will you please? Will you? Will you do me a kindness?
Leave.
Yeah.
I think I want to be walking in and out if you're going to fuck up and I got to come back.
I don't make any difference to me at this juncture. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tony. Don't slam the fucking door. No more. Listen, I've got to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day from anyone. That includes me. It's going to be very hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable for everybody. Want anybody yelling. We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the shit is going to hit the fan. And they fit the diverse needs of a very big fern, and they fit the needs of a very diverse buyer segment. Why can't I remember? I wrote this stuff. Why can't I remember it? Why don't I say it fucking right? What does the goddamn line say, Tony? What is the goddamn line? I don't give a shit what the line is. I fucked up the word rear. I can't even read the fucking VO straight. What the fuck was that? We got flies all over the fucking place. Son of a bitch. Get out of here, you fucking flies. There's a fly over the headlight, Tony. We got flies coming for us. Fuck. Fuck out of here, you flies. We got 3 flies, 5 flies. And if you will, make sure, if you will, we don't have that fly on the left side, on the passenger side, because we don't have that in frame, but make sure we don't have any flies here. And we don't have any flies. Here we go. Get out of here, you goddamn jackass. I gotta read it again because my mind is just a piece of shit this morning. God, I can't fucking make my mind work. Tony, give me a towel for just a minute, please. That... I'm blinded by that fucking hot light. Goddamn son of a bitch! What do you mean, I'm gonna fall off the fucking thing? Fuck. Just keep running. Bullshit. I'm gonna slate this fucker. All right, I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
Still speeding.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass. Man, I'd like to kick your fucking head in. Meet innovation. Money. Fuck. Not even funny anymore. Son of a bitch! Jesus Christ. Fuck! Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck off! What the hell's the line? Shit! What the fuck is it? Can't remember the goddamn line. The accoutrement that you will need. Accoutrement? What is that shit? I don't know, shit. It's just all gone. I get so goddamn diuretic when I sit here, and my mouth just never stops. For 1989, each individual storage compartment has this controlled light that you can put up your fern if you want to. How's that? What shot is it? Oh, shit. What did I do? Did I walk through it? It's going to be very helpful in keeping you from falling down, you big dumb son of a bitch. You're disturbing what's left of my brain. Yeah, but my mind is such shit. To say nothing of the flies in my head. Got a fly in my mouth and every fucking other thing happens. If I knew what the rest of the line was, then I would be in good shape. It's amazing how I just babble. Uh-oh. I guess my mind is going again.
My body is just...
There's no words there. There's no words on it.
Fuck it.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
I've never seen that. Fucking thing sucks. There's no words there. Okay, ready? Take it away. Go, go. Yeah. Go, go. Yeah. Go, go. Yeah. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Go, go. What's that mean? To play us out? To end the show? Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. Dark Horse Live episode 147. Almost 150 of these fucking things, which is surprising to me. I'm running a little bit behind, so I need to pack some weed up here. Right off the jump, tonight on the program, in-studio guest, J-Lo's here, so we appreciate her stopping by. Something came up that I wanted to touch on briefly, which I think is weird, but the 100K Grand Prix, which is something that we are going to do December 1st through the 3rd. If you watch this show, you've heard me talk about it a million times, but it's coming up December 1st through the 3rd, and I invite everyone to go check it out. But at the same time, there's something weird, and I'm not even starting a beef here. I like 3rd Gen, but 3rd Gen, Brandon, he's throwing a cup, and I'll do what he won't do. He's throwing a cup on the exact same time as us. I think it's the 1st through the 3rd. I don't know why he's doing it in the exact same time as us. It's in NorCal. If you're in California or NorCal and you'd like to attend that cup, go right ahead. But yeah, he's kind of low-key trolling us lately, saying that he wants to give away more money than us. Like, that's a troll. And the funny thing is, I invented the 100K Grand Prix because I wanted there to be high-stakes cannabis cups all over the country. So, please give away more money than us. That's cool as fuck. I don't really give a shit. Like, that's kind of a cool thing that if you want to give away cash prizes for your ego clash, go right ahead. But I do think it's weird to, like, have an issue. We've long established the date of this cup for a long fucking time. And I know him and Caesar had a few words, whatever. We're all friends still. To this day, we're friends. There's not a huge beef here, but it is some weird flex where it's like, we're doing our cup at the exact same time as you, and we're going to give away more money than you. It's like, okay, cool. Hopefully that goes well. I wish you all the best, my friend. But I don't understand where the animosity or, like, you got to beat us kind of thing is. The thing with the 100K Grand Prix, it's been fucking weird the entire time I've tried to throw in this event. Like, it's never been easy. It's not incredibly difficult, but it's never been easy. And there's been, like, a horde of hating people the entire time. We're just trying to throw an event and give away some cash and get together and have a fun time. But, like, I go back in the first one we did when they were saying that the cup was rigged and the fake text messages and Marcus and all them guys trying to troll the shit out of it, to even Adam Dunn saying we stole his idea for the cup and shit. And now 3rd Gen's, like, pissed about we're doing a cup at the same time they're doing a cup. It's like, what happened to community and everyone coming together and supporting each other? And what's the problem with all these different people wanting to throw events? I don't understand where this shit comes from and why we can't support each other in it. But I support 3rd Gen and their Ego Clash. Ego Clash has been a cool event, so go support Ego Clash. And if you're in NorCal, go to that event. If you're in Las Vegas or BizCon, come to our event. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal, but I thought I'd address it right up top of the show because it's come up and it's been kind of fucking strange. So, whatever. I don't know what the event hate is all about and why we have to hate each other on events when the industry is a little bit in a shit spot right now. So, we should probably be coming together and collaborating. And instead, we want to, like, go head to head and limit our fucking pool of resources. It's like, or we come together and throw the same event together. I'd be willing to even work with 3rd Gen on 100K Grand Prix, bring it all together. Fuck, I think they were judges at our last event. That's why I don't get it. 3rd Gen's Brandon's been a guest on this show. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not overly pissed. I'm just confused. But with that said, I don't know. Let's go into something that actually has me pissed. Here we go.
What the actual fuck did you just say to me right now?
This. So New York, to shout out Beer Bros Farms, where I get almost all of my information for cannabis. New York, they basically the MSO sued to get in early. There was supposed to be like a 2-year wait period for these giant MSOs to come in so these mom and pops could start up and do their operations. But these MSOs sued and got in early. And the craziest part of them suing was they were able to open up, and they're opening up within like 30 days now. And they're right in without having to wait 2 years. But their lawsuit blocked everyone else from opening. So you want to talk about like the ultimate like double fuck, like double cross? Is like, yeah, also we're now in and we're in first, and we're not going to allow anyone else to open during the litigation of this lawsuit. So now all licenses are put in like hold or some shit, and all the people that are issuing licenses. So there's people currently who have rented buildings and are in the middle of fucking trying to open a dispensary or whatever it may be, who are now being told to wait because the giant MSOs are suing, and they have to hold through this lawsuit procedure, which could take for fucking a long time. So New York is fucking crazy right now. I don't even understand what the fuck this is or why you would do this, but yeah, it seems to me like there is one of the last good markets in America, and now they're going to be a race for $10 eighths from MSOs, and there will be no room to make any money because these MSOs come into the new markets and immediately drop the price to the very bottom, very, very bottom. So yeah, I don't know what's up in New York City and allowing this shit to sort of happen. I guess they didn't really allow it as much as the MSOs trumped them and came in and were able to fucking levy some lawsuit that fucking fucked everything up. But if you're currently in the New York market or you're working on something in New York, let us know in the comments or chat if I even got this story 100% correct. But it appears that MSOs are in, and current licensed mom and pops or social equity or whatever you want to call it are in a freeze. So what the fuck is going on here? Very strange, very stupid, but par for the course for the industry lately. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, there's what in the actual fuck? What in the actual fuck? So yeah, it's got me angry. I'll bring in J-Lo. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me on.
Do you have any thoughts on MSOs in New York and this lawsuit? Do you hear anything about this?
No, but I'm excited that you said this because, as you know, I'm trying to get into New York right now, and that definitely affects things. But I think that the scale as a whole, like with any type of company, is getting like out of control. Like, so I think the same struggles that we have with waste management or Excel or like, I don't know. I feel like all these huge corporations is they're not setting good examples of like taking care of a consumer. And so I think even like large square footage here, when we saw that phase go from like where there was like 1,000 square foot grows to 3,000 square foot grows being like large at the time to like this huge leap where it went to 30,000 square foot and then 40 and then on and on and on. And now we've got things like 200,000 square foot grows, and now we have a saturated market of shit weed and
$10 eighths.
$10 eighths, yeah.
That's just what more than anything, what bothers me. And it's funny because I'm not even in these markets necessarily. Technically, we are licensing ourselves in some New York grows, but I'm not really in these markets. And I'm like, why do these people do this shit to themselves? Where it's like, I shouldn't say themselves, but it's these MSOs. It's these the biggest weed companies in America rush to the newest markets every time. And when they get in the newest markets, they rush to put out a $10 eighth because it's like they have this formula that crushes everyone else out, right? It's the Walmart formula. So it's like, all right, we're going to do $10 fucking eighths all across the country in every new market. But what that really does is it doesn't allow anyone to recoup their investment. Like if you're selling your pounds for basically less than $1,000 or whatever the fuck it is, but your business plan was based on a 3 to 5 year window to make money in this new emerging market where you can make $25, $45 an eighth, and all of a sudden now it's straight to 10, and you have to compete with the giant MSOs who come in with $100 million. It's like this is the problem with the industry, but it's also a problem with America. If you want to go even deeper, it's like huge money fucks up all small business. And while there always will be a need for craft cannabis, we talk about it all the time, there always will be a need for this, and they will actually outshine the MSOs every time.
Yeah.
But it really does fuck with the marketplace and like
And I
price
wonder
points.
these companies, exactly what you're saying, like the long-term haul though, when I look at them, like even for themselves, is you have a massive amount of overhead at this point. You have a massive amount of risk. Like, And most of these guys are puddling together a lot of money from multiple investors. There's not like one guy typically isn't dropping 30 million on the table and being like, here we go. I see where they don't have like a strong unit even. It's hard to see it even like that as a business model. Is like, it seems like they have just money really coming into a place, and then they're trying to outsource and hire people to like catch up to like the concept of the product. It's almost like they see the vision of like, we're just going to go annihilate this market, but they don't even have a product that they've ever like created or formulated to even.
The product is like the last thing in their mind. It's more about like domination through like business tactics of, marketing, and then price point manipulation to fuck with other brands to make them leave or go out of business. But in this case, in something like New York, you're fucking with them before they even opened.
Yeah.
They didn't even open. And I thought about this in
terrible.
like Florida and Miami and shit, because I saw Florida as a new market where I was like, okay, people down in Florida are going to crush for about 3 to 5 years. They're just going to fucking do $50, $60 eighths. They're going to have hypey weed. There's going to be all these fucking people that are like lining up in dispensaries to try this new legal weed, or I think it's all medical, but whatever, dispensary type weed purchasing, and people are going to be stoked on it. But what happened was people went down and built mega fucking grows, and weed immediately went to $10 a fucking eighth.
Damn.
And it's like they didn't even give themselves a 2 to 3 year window to make their money back. And I just looked at it like scratching my head. I'm like, why is everyone in a race to the bottom? We talk about race to the bottom, but I don't know. I've mentioned this briefly on the show before, but I don't know if you're familiar with it. But the maple syrup industry had this same problem, and like essentially what was happening is people were fucking running out and tapping maple syrup out of like trees like all over the fucking place, and then selling maple syrup like everywhere for cheap as fuck.
Oh,
and the maple syrup people were like, this is fucked up. We
Probably
need
generational too.
generational, but it was like, I can't remember what it was, somewhere up in Canada, but they were like, what the fuck do we do? Like, our product has no value anymore because it's literally been like anyone can go tap a tree and push it out all over the place. So they got together and basically did something illegal in this country, at least, which is price fix. And they created like a group or a network, or I want to say like a labor union, but it's not really a labor union. It's like a maple syrup producer like conglomerate that all came together, and then they came up with an official like a Canadian maple seal symbol to put on their jars.
Oh, like quality control.
Yeah, and then they're like, and we are the only people that are allowed to sell maple syrup that is authentic and real kind of thing. Oh. And they were able to get ahead of it, get their price point back up to where the maple syrup industry didn't completely collapse on itself, because only a certain number of people came together and fixed the problem there.
Yeah.
But something similar has happened also in like olive oil. Where in olive oil, it's heavily faked. Like almost all olive oil in America is fake olive oil. It's black market olive oil. Wow. Even in the grocery stores, everywhere you go, it's almost all fake olive oil. Oh. So the olive oil industry it's actually a mafia thing. They've been like corrupted and contaminated to where almost all olive oil is fake, and they're not able to fucking like control the price of it anymore, because kind of the mafia got in and like pushed all this fake olive oil out and devalued the price of olive oil like crazy. But true olive oil from like Italy is like $300 a bottle or some shit.
Oh my god.
And it's weird, but what happened to olive oil is kind of like what's happened to cannabis in a sense, where it's like it's devalued to shit.
Yeah.
But what happened to maple syrup, they were able to kind of fix it in a way. But when you think of maple syrup, it's a region of Canada where some people got together and said, hey, let's fix this problem, as opposed to this is America, and almost, half the states are now growing pot in some commercial manner. So it's like, and we're not an internationally traded product or a nationally traded product. So it's like you have these markets, these mini markets, where people rush to these markets, and they literally create these, I don't know, like fucked up in like price fucking dips that then manipulate the market in a way. And
I mean, I think a small example of that's always happened to Colorado is California. Is every time California harvests, consistently for the whole time I think we've been growing weed, is like every time they harvest in October, our weed prices would drop from like, let's just say normal days weed prices was like $2,400 to $2,600 a pound, and you would see this like plummet as soon as the market got saturated with California stuff. It would be like immediately like 1,000 or something, which was huge at the time. Like, as far as, so I think it's weird though when people actually go in, like you said, with this mindset, but it kind of works to their advantage for the first 3 years. Is I think a lot of these facilities are clean, like where they're starting from brand new plants or like tissue culture or whatever they're into, seeds, and I think their facilities stay like on par in theory, like in these room tight like facilities, you know. But then I also see these companies like collapse. Like even our big chains here in Colorado, they used to like produce good weed, like maybe for the first 2 years that they were in business, got like a huge group of people to come there. But then it's like sustainability. You see, those guys were the first to like go out of business too.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier in a weird way about most businesses. They say most businesses, I think it's like some crazy number, like 80%. Like 80% of businesses fail within the first 2 years. That's just any business, right?
Yeah.
But we were talking about cannabis business specifically. In cannabis businesses, really it's more like 4 years because everyone excels. Kind of like what you were just saying. Everyone excels in the first 2 years. They have a brand new turnkey facility that costs a few $1 million to build. They have brand new pots, brand new lights, brand new trays.
Or paint on the walls.
Everything is clean as fuck. They have good genetics they start with. Everything goes well. And the first 2 years is great, and they start crushing it. And they're like, oh, everything is here. Even like the investment is there for like, let's go get cool packaging and let's hire the right staff. We need a marketing team. We
All
need
the
a
capital,
photographer.
full teams.
Yeah, but then by the time you hit year 4, your facility is now got fucking lights that aren't fucking producing half the power that they used to produce. You need to change your lights out probably at this point. Your trays have cracks and holes in them. You've got bug infestations that you can't seem to get rid of.
New
You're, like,
diseases.
Perpetually fucking fucked. Yeah, maybe you got some HLVD or Fusarium or other things coming through, and it's like, it's fucking easy. This just sounds crazy, but it's fucking easy to run a brand new facility for a year or two. It's fucking hard to run a facility after year 4 or 5.
10 years later,
Or
especially.
8, 9, 10. Like Dark Horse is on like year 9, I think, in our current facility, and it's like, try it. You know, I don't know. I always look at those brand new facilities and I'm like, man, that's clean and gorgeous. But I'm like, let me see it in 5 years.
Oh my God, we're
Let me
dang
see it in
this.
5 years.
Like walking into even that facility and watching the walls get built and like this whole building come together brand new, you know, and like being a part of the crew when you're first opening it, there's nothing that's been altered or fucked with, and seeing the store now, like it's weird, but that retail store used to be so beautiful and like over the top, and like now you walk in and it looks like the same wore down store.
Just
like,
a regular ass dispensary.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that, I mean, and that's not even really hating either.
No, I'm not
That's
trying.
something about like the ebb and flows of this business too is like, you know, every brand that I can even think of in Colorado, from even the best brands to the shittiest brands, really, but the best brands that you can think of all have these peaks and valleys, these ebbs and flows. And the best brands are the ones who are the most consistent, that can consistently put out, you know, basically the same product over and over again.
And you
Whereas
can-
some people, like I say, for the first 2 years, we're just putting out bangers. Like bangers that we like, this shit is fucking amazing. Or hash, same kind of thing with hash makers. Like they have all brand new shit and they're really going. They even have the motivation and all the desire.
They're
And then
happy.
It's been a couple years and they haven't been dragged down yet by the shitty margins and all the fucking failed
Your
testing
soul.
and all the bullshit you have to deal with, and fire departments and this and that. And it's like, before you know it, after a while, it's like, I don't know, the smile is gone just a little bit. It's not to say we don't love our job or my job, but it's like the smile will fade
You have
when
to,
you
like,
hit like year 4 or 5, and then the investment is not necessarily there. The margins aren't there, so it's like everything starts getting shrunken down. Your packaging all of a sudden becomes like not quite so bougie. Like, can we get away with just putting it in this, or you know what I mean? Like, can we just change the bulbs instead of fix the lights, or change? It's like things happen that I don't know. I love new facilities. I love running a new facility.
Yeah.
It's the funnest shit ever. It's not so fun when it's like, hey, this facility's been up for 8 fucking years and they've had some form of thrip, aphid, or spider mite invasion that hasn't really gone away in the last 7 years. Like, you think you could come in here and take over? It's like, do you understand the difficulties that come with that? And what we're not saying is do you understand like how excellent cultivators are that have made it past year 4 or 5 and have been a brand for 5 to 10 years or whatever the fuck it is, and
Absolutely.
that 5 to 10 year period is much harder than your first 1 to 4 year period.
Well, I think that's the fear about these huge corporations coming in, though, is like you're saying, is like, to me, their intentions from the get-go is those are usually the companies that hire these really talented people. I'm saying that are like growers, like the breeders, all these things are these like small town guys for the most part, and really talented. It's like they swoop them up, they pay them this like remarkable salary in their mind. They offer them these like dream scenarios, like, you know, even like a house or a car, and, you know, $50,000 bonuses and beyond and all this stuff. And it's like they have no intentions of keeping that person on. They're going to like replace them in as short of a time frame as they possibly can to a minimum wage paid employee. And like, you see these effects, I think, though, with the guys that come in hot that are like, we're just going to dominate this. And with 100,000 square foot, let's just say. And like you said, they'll be cruising through their first couple harvests. But then eventually it does catch up to them. It's like they do have like the seeded out room on a mass scale. And then you'll see our pound prices drop to like $200 a pound because of these guys, like you said, like a $10 eighth, all this stuff. And I think, though, it's when what they really ruin is I think it ruins a customer's trust. Is like then customers and consumers start questioning shit. They start questioning like validity of like products, like genetics, or you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of trust anymore.
Well, that was one of the questions I actually had for you on my sheet here was how did cannabis become a minimum wage job? Growing cannabis become a minimum wage job? And I think we may have just answered it in what we just talked about, but when you talk about like, it truly is. Like when you and I probably first got into this industry, cannabis head growing positions were easily $100,000 to $150,000 a year, and
Minimum.
we expected them to go up towards the 200,000, even 250 for the elite positions in the industry.
Yeah.
But what we ended up seeing happening, which no one really foresaw, was what happened. The bigger money came in. They wanted you to train someone that they could then replace you with and do it real cheap. But then before it's like before you could turn around, it's just like you like
So
spin
fast.
around twice and you look around and you're like, holy shit.
Haven't even finished the crop,
Like,
say.
They're literally like the industry went to a point where those eights started sliding down. The price points, everything got really cutthroat and competitive. So price points kept going down, down, down. But then you look around at the jobs that are out there, and all head growers have then been relieved at the $100,000 mark because they can't afford to do that and sell pounds this cheap or sell eights that cheap. So then they get removed, and then you start getting $50,000 guys or $60,000 guys, but really they're not really lasting. So now you're looking at more like 35 to 40, at least in the Colorado market, to be a head grower of a facility that is literally probably somewhere between 2 to 5,000, 2 to 8,000 square feet, and they're going to give you like $1,500 every 2 weeks or some shit. When you could literally go work at Walmart or McDonald's or some shit down the street.
Get paid better.
$18, $20 an hour, and you're probably going to be looking at 48,000 a year or some shit. And it's like, so logistically or realistically, the cannabis profession, specifically like the growing profession, really has taken a decline in pay wages. There's really not anything here that pays super well. There's a few jobs in the industry that are making six figures to go run large scale facilities because they're established badasses. But I mean, those jobs are few and far between, and that's not those jobs that we're watching them go away over and over and over again.
Those people, like you said, have like really probably gone through hell and back to even get these little splashes of what we think is victory, I think. But honestly, I remember in 2012 when I was a manager of this grow I was just the head grower, but I remember receiving, this was medical only days, and this is right when metric though, or the MMED. So do you remember when it was the MMED?
Medical marijuana.
Yeah. So that was right when they were implementing the like rec and all this stuff coming on. So all these people flooded our email and like my email of like applying, right? From like different states, and we're like begging for jobs, and they were like, you don't have to pay us. Like person after person. Like they were like, I just want to like come in, you teach me, you give me this experience. So I watched every owner race on this shit. They're like, absolutely. Like, I'm paying these guys so much an hour, so much a week. Trimmers were getting paid so well a pound.
It's a good point. It really is a good point because you're right. Like, all of a sudden, and this is another thing where we're not necessarily hating because it's like, okay, Colorado was leading the nation in cannabis. So, like, a lot of people from all the other states early on in, like, 2014 or earlier were like, okay, Colorado's popping off with legal weed.
Yeah.
I want to do legal weed. I'm going to go out there and get basically an internship. I will work for free. I just need experience for my resume or to build something so that I can start my own. I need to see how this works from the inside out. Yeah. So you're right. Like, people started flooding in here that would literally do anything for free. Like, you could get all these free, super cheap labor, but they didn't last. They all got what they needed to get and then slid right back to where the fuck they were trying to go.
Which it really just ultimately fucked us. Is like that's where I think like some of these things happen to us in small and large circumstances. Is like even as these guys, I mean, no matter what square footage you're rocking right now in Colorado, it's a pretty competitive market. And I think you're seeing the quality drop I think for all kinds of reasons, but also like you said, why is it worth it for the boutique growers though to pay for these licenses, to go through all these regulations, all this shit? You know what I mean? Like to compete with the big dogs, it's almost like to me they're like increasing the black market or trying to like enhance the black market every time they do shit like this.
I mean, it's a side effect of what they do. That's the other thing. It's definitely a side effect of what happens is you steer people straight to the black, which the black is fine. Black is great. Black is lovely. Like,
It's a nice place.
it's a cool place, and it's probably gonna keep being real cool for a long fucking time. With as stupid as the shit is out here, like,
It's just getting really out of control I think legally though, you don't want to get arrested. That's the hard part too. It's like when you're trying to do it.
I mean, we're all getting old now, starting families, having children, like
Yeah.
legit. We're like, we were trappers in our 20s, and now it's 20 years later, and we're all like, let's start a family and shit, but I still do crazy shit, so maybe I should cool it or just do legal shit. But then you look at the legal thing, and you're like, oh, that's like a $20,000 a year job.
Well, and it's weird too. Like the price points that you're talking about is like in Colorado, I'd say it costs like $2.5 million, let's say, to be vertically integrated here as a small boutique shop. Like if you were really trying to do it all right, with a medium sized scale grow, let's just say 7,000 to 10,000 square foot. I think that it would still cost you that much in capital. So then when you see these guys coming in that are like, we're going to get like $40 million, $50 million or beyond, these crazy ass numbers, I think it's too hard to feel like you can compete with that though. Like at any point, like, and really pay it back in your personal lifetime.
Yeah, totally. Well, I've talked about this on the show before too, is where's all the cannabis millionaires? We came up from the grassroots of this shit. I mean, we were some of the first people to sell fucking weed. So you would think if someone was going to do it right from the beginning, they've been paid by now and out living on the beach.
Yep.
And there's probably a few that have. But at the same time, where are all the cannabis millionaires?
Yeah.
Really what happened was other millionaires came in and bought this shit up.
Yeah.
And actually lost their ass, most of them, like,
Yeah.
consistently lose their ass. But it's like, so it was bought up by millionaires, but nobody was really made to be a millionaire, or there really hasn't happened that much. But it kind of goes to show, like, I don't know, this whole, it only took 10 fucking years for us to have legal market and then basically have it implode on itself and become, like we said, the value of almost every job in the industry.
Yeah.
Almost every job in this industry, at least in this market in Colorado, is a minimum wage job. Is $18 to $20 an hour.
I think it's devastating.
Extractors to fucking head growers to fucking trimmers.
And you have to be
bud tenders.
21 without a felony. And you can't smoke weed at work, technically. It's like, that's pretty ridiculous to even be like putting people, and you don't have like some of these companies, the benefit to chains is they do offer insurance to their employees, and they do like.
We all used to do that shit. We all used to have 401ks, insurance plans, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much better.
So much better.
It's a sign of the economy, recession times, everything else when things shrink up. But in the cannabis industry specifically, the good jobs is what I'm speaking of. The good jobs, they're
The
kind
top
of
of
gone.
the food chain.
You know? And I'll be frank. I mean, I'm an owner. Like, I'm not necessarily an employee anywhere. So, but I can still see the lay of the land and look around at what's going the fuck on. And I mean, I'll be frank. Like, yeah, we used to make a lot of money. Now we don't make half as a fucking fraction as much. Like, it's way fucking down. So therefore, all the jobs have been reduced as little as possible. Skeleton crews, and can I hire $18 to $20 hour guys because I have to compete in this marketplace.
But when you're paying for testing and things like that at 400, like people are forgetting that it still costs like on average, let's say $600 a pound to produce with your overhead, your testing, all of that stuff. Is
Our market is exactly like 600 right now.
maybe 800 on like some crazy end if you were getting wild. Maybe.
Well, and it's also a scale thing. You know, if
Absolutely.
you scale up, you can get that pound cost down to less than 200 per pound.
It's true.
So you're fine selling them at 6, 7, 8.
Well, and I think that that's like it's strange to think about that. I don't know. That's what we really have to, I don't know. It's such an important key to what we have to rely on. I don't know. This is a high moment.
Let's switch gears. Dipshit of the day.
That's perfect.
the Republicans. We don't do politics on this show.
Oh.
We really don't. But the
Okay.
Republicans are dipshit of the day. Please allow me to explain.
Oh. You know I'm from Boulder County.
This is from Beard Bros Farms. Recently, a group of Republican senators and members of the House of Representatives sent a letter to the DEA asking the agency to reject the recent recommendation from the Department of Health Human Services to reschedule marijuana Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substance Act. So yeah, sounds good, right? Thanks, Republicans, for sending a letter saying we don't want Schedule 3, right? Well,
Nice.
Look at what they cited as the reasons why they don't want Schedule 3. The letter claimed that cannabis has high potential for abuse, no currently accepted medical use, and a lack of accepted safety under medical supervision. They argue that marijuana should remain classified as a Schedule 1 drug due to research they claim suggests that 30% of marijuana users have marijuana use disorder. That is why you get dipshit of the day right there every fucking time. You'll get it every fucking time. So we're going back to reefer madness shit that it has a high potential for abuse. There's no medical use. We've literally had dispensaries for medical dispensaries and proven this for how fucking long, for how many fucking years. Yeah. And then they say that 30% of people have marijuana use disorder, which I had to Google it.
I was going to ask you.
I Googled it many shows back, and it's something where people who are addicted to marijuana, and I think they have that, like, remember that throw up thing?
Oh, yeah.
Where people just kept, like, violently puking for no fucking reason or whatever.
Probably heavy metals or something else.
It's 30%. 30% of people have this marijuana use disorder that smoke cannabis, according to the Republicans. So,
Okay.
again, we don't do a lot of politics on here. I don't really care what side of the aisle you land on. But you got to admit, this is fucking stupid. In a weird way, it's like, thank you for not like getting on board with Schedule 3, because nobody around me wants Schedule 3 at all. Like, Schedule 3 is fucked. But at the same time, this is what you're going to cite. Why don't you just cite it's fucking stupid and it should be decrimmed? It's just decriminalization, not fucking... It sounds like they want to keep it in Schedule 1.
It does.
They're like, keep sending people to prison, God damn it. So, yeah, I don't know. Fuck the Republicans on this one. You're dipshit of the day.
That is wild.
You have any thoughts?
I mean, I just think it's crazy that people actually spend time talking about weed still, like this, like in any way, shape, or form. Like, we were talking today about like businesses, just like in general, that you should just be allowed to smoke cannabis in. Like, it shouldn't be even like identified as getting a cannabis license or all this other shit. It's like you should just be like able to do it, like however you gotta do it.
Well, I learned something that I didn't know. Schedule 3 was only supposed to be temporary.
What?
Yeah, it was a Nixon thing. So Nixon had all the hippies out in front
was.
of the fucking White House, protesting them every day, and Nixon hated a hippie, so like he wanted to fuck with the hippies in a way. So he used an executive order, I believe, I might be getting this wrong, but this is the basic gist of the story. He used an executive order, I believe, to schedule cannabis as Schedule 1 to target the pot smokers in front of the fucking White House and shit, have them all arrested.
Oh my gosh.
And it was only supposed to remain on Schedule 1 for 90 days, I believe. It was a 90-day thing, a temporary placement under there. And then that's when the Schaefer Commission was, in 1972 or something like that, was commissioned.
Wow.
And the Schaefer Commission, 50 fucking years ago, did a fucking report on this, or they did a study, and they discovered that their recommendation back to the White House, an official documented, whatever, you can go Google it and find it, the Schaefer Commission in 72 sent a letter to Nixon saying cannabis should not be Schedule 1. It should be decriminalized, has medical, whatever values. It's not addictive properties. It's not a bad thing. It should be straight decriminalized. And that was a group that he put together to fucking look at it.
Yeah.
And then they sent him this document, and he was like, yeah, about that. Just shoved it in a fucking desk drawer and somehow convinced Congress to vote it as a permanent Schedule 1 thing. I think they put it in the back end of a bill or some bullshit. But it was never meant to be a Schedule 1 drug. It was only supposed to be there for 90 fucking days.
And he didn't come back on and say like, whoops.
Of course not. Nixon was not a fan of the grass or the hippies or anyone smoking grass. And I just think it's kind of wild that it was a weird backhanded deal that wasn't supposed to happen. And then when he did put it in Schedule 1, he said, like, that was his whole thing. It's like, I'm putting this in Schedule 1 for 90 days, and I'm creating a commission to research it to give me, a recommendation.
Yeah.
And they cut back 90 days later, and they're like, our recommendation is decriminalization. And he's like, fuck you guys. You know I hate the hippies, right? Like,
Wow.
you're supposed to come back with a recommendation saying this shit is fucking poison, you know what I mean? And then you go into Reagan and Nancy Reagan and fucking war on drugs, just say no, and DARE programs and blah, blah, and it just starts getting worse and worse and worse. But it's kind of crazy to me that, once again, to beat a dead horse here, that it was not supposed to be Schedule 1 for, like, permanent. It was a 90-day thing that was voted on, like, sketchy as fuck.
I wonder what would have happened to Nixon if somebody dosed him and he didn't know, and like he got like handed a joint or something while he was under the influence. If all of history would be different right now.
I mean, this is completely off topic, but I think it's hilarious that, like, Nixon took a meeting with Elvis or whatever. There's, like, all the kinds of documentaries about this, but Elvis showed up at the White House all coked out to hell, talking about he hates hippies and he wants to be an undercover cop. Elvis actually was, like, a federal agent somehow. They gave him a fucking badge.
I loved Elvis
and
until
shit.
this.
But, yeah, he's like, I'll get them hippies with you or whatever. And, like, Elvis and Nixon were, like, buddies. But when Elvis showed up to the White House, he was, like, clearly coked the fuck out. Apparently, it's the most requested White House photo. They have like an archive of every photo ever taken in White House. It's the most requested photo of White House history. It's Elvis and Nixon, and Elvis you can clearly see is coked out of his mind. But I think it's kind of funny that, yeah, Nixon is an
That's
interesting character.
hilarious.
All right, moving it along. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't have a whole lot to go off, but I figure we can kind of pick up where we left off last time. I didn't really do a whole proper introduction, but Jayla's been on the show before, and it was a bit of a controversial, fun show that got you a whole new podcast yourself, but you have...
Thank you for the promotion.
Yeah, no worries getting you straight up kicked off of shows. Appearing on this show, it can be bad for your career, apparently.
It's
But,
okay.
no, yeah, you have a new show, which spawned from all of that horse shit. So you're doing a show Sunday nights, a treat show. It's at 7:10 p.m., which you're always late.
Yeah.
It's 7:10.
I'm working on it.
Utilize this very studio to shoot it. So
Very nice of Dark Horse.
like I say, we try to make it sound okay. But I don't know. Tell everybody what you've been up to since the last time you've been here. I know a lot of people know you from the Adam Dunn Show. That's all they might know. They're tuning in and going, hey, that's the girl that used to be on the Adam Dunn Show every week. Where the fuck did she go? You don't have to talk about that whole story, but what do you have going on now? What's cooked up with you? I mean, we can even talk about Dark Horse. You started helping at Dark Horse, either you call it employed or consulting or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but you come help Dark Horse like get our grow back on track. And then you started your own podcast. You have a website, but I don't know. Talk yourself up.
Well, I feel like all that stuff is like not that intriguing. Like Dark Horse, it's really nice working with you guys at the Grow. Is like I feel like it's a space that brings me back to like when I worked with Headquarters, which is my favorite company in my whole career, of just like people that genuinely like cared about the product and like had the appropriate scale where it's still challenging as fuck and it's still really large and it's still like this perpetual big thing, you know?
My building, I'll just say this, my building can suck the soul out of like the best grower. It's not a bad building. It's a good building and all, but something about it like will throw you challenges that you never thought that you had to deal with.
I definitely am going to have to second that all the way. Yeah, I think, but it's been really cool. It's like, I will say is I've worked with like so many grows now. It's like 150 or more. I don't know anymore, but I feel like as an owner though, you've been like the first owner I've ever met though, that really cares about like doing it right, like throughout the whole process and like actually being open to like getting away from a system that did so well for you and worked so well for you for so long and then being open to trying something new that honestly I'd say you were pretty against in every way, shape, and form, deep down.
You can say what you're saying about. First of all, you're brown nosing like a motherfucker. But second of all, yeah, everyone knows I talk about this podcast a lot. I'm an organic guy. I've been organic forever, but we started having heavy metal issues. And I'm not saying it's age-old's fault, but I've been an age-old guy forever, and I've been a fucking soil guy forever. And you wanted to use a cocoa and a salt base, and I should say I haven't
Look
talked
at
shit
his
about
face.
salts, but I haven't really loved the salt weed that I've smoked, and I was kind of like, all right, but I'm also willing to see, like, let me see your system. Let's try it in a room or two, or let's run this for a minute, see what it looks like. And whatever, compare. And we're running a salt system at the moment in cocoa and got away from the organics specifically for testing reasons and to run a more stale grow. But I don't know. I mean, all you say this, you taught us tons. You taught me specifically tons, but probably the biggest thing that I've learned from you, which is almost embarrassing to admit, but the biggest thing I've learned from you is hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, so nice.
We had all these reservoirs that used to have all this algae in it, and I was losing my mind. I was buying these like UV lights from like fish tanks that are supposed to clean up algae in a fish tank, and I was trying like dumping in all this extra shit. I was painting the tanks black. I was trying to keep them totally sealed, wrapping them in poly, painting them black. That wasn't good enough. And then I got a rhino liner and painted it with truck bed liner to make it even darker in the reservoirs. And then I was just like, but the algae keeps fucking growing. The algae keeps growing. And I literally threw away like 2 or 3 different reservoirs because I thought it was like a design flaw. I was like, why do they make reservoirs that are clear? It's just fucking stupid. Like they should either be black or dark green or like.
But then you can't see where the water lines are.
That's why they make them clear.
Yeah, you're like shit.
But yeah, all of this struggle that I went through over and over and over again, and it was simply the fix was not fucking China UV lights that will electrocute you and crazy fish tank like fucking cleaning apparatuses. It's fucking hydrogen peroxide. Do you want to give away a tip or a trick on this show and tell everybody why you like hydrogen peroxide and why I now like hydrogen peroxide so much?
Yeah, I just talked about it on the treat show as well. Is hydrogen peroxide is my favorite trick probably. Is if you use it, I think even if you're running like organic, I think a lot of people are scared to use it on a soil or something obviously, but if you are doing like a mixture, you can use it at a really low rate. So you could use it at 1 to 2 mils if you have like living beds or, microbes that you're like concerned about. But it will keep everything kind of balanced and in check. But if you're using something like once a week, I guess, with a system like that, or at least putting it in your reservoir, like you said, to just keep the reservoir clean, is you can use it to clean your lines at a higher concentration without it being in the plants. But then I'd say for like us, we're running a sterile system, and we're inoculating and doing beneficials other ways. But as far as our feed goes, and I think if you use about 2 to 4 mils per day, per time you make your res, that's a pretty medium range. It's like it keeps everything combated, like it keeps everything away for the most part, like pest, disease. It doesn't.
A lot of these pathogens in the water.
Exactly, all the pathogens that I'd say are more even concerning to me than like HLVD to some degree. It's like Fusarium is more scary to me, like Botrytis, Pythium. I kind of just think that if you run about, okay, so 1 to 5 is the highest that you really want to.
5 milliliters a gallon.
5 mils per
So
gallon.
if you got some kind of gnarly, that's the highest you really want to go. But really, like kind of what I was getting at is what you were talking about there too. Is like it's like a use all, cure all for like all kinds of shit.
All kinds of you can
But
clean
you start
with
with
it.
just keeping your reservoir clean with it at 2 to 4 mils. And like, yeah, it definitely works. And for those that don't understand what we're talking about, it's not hydrogen peroxide you get at the grocery store. It's specifically hydrogen peroxide from a grow store, which is upwards of like 30%.
Yeah, I think that 34 to 36% is the
It's just way stronger than the supermarket, which is like 3% or something.
Yeah.
That's like for your cuts when you know what I mean. Like that's
And
why they sell it in the pharmacy section.
I think it's kind of expensive if you're using it the way that we're using it. Like we're using it every time we're cleaning with it. We're doing all these different things with it. So I feel like a gallon runs about $30, which I know doesn't sound expensive, but once you start like using H2O2, you're gonna fall in love with it. And
Use a lot of it.
yeah. I think, but even clones is like a trick too for people with easy cloners for sure. And like even if you're using like root riots or something like that, is if you use that and you're starting water seeds to germinate your seeds.
There's so many uses. We
So
should
many
probably
good
just
things.
build like a website or a section of the website that's just dedicated to all the many uses of hydrogen peroxide and
I would love this.
why you should. But if you're interested, JLo just did literally, I don't know, 2-3 hour podcast specifically on hydrogen peroxide every Sunday on her YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@treat900.
Yes.
Treat Show 900.
Treat Show. So I found out recently that don't type JLo actually. Is people keep trying to type Treat Show JLo is like if you just type in Treat Show.
Yeah, it comes up.
Yeah, because I'm competing with Jennifer Lopez, you know. So
You're losing on YouTube to Jennifer
yeah,
Lopez? No way.
I don't know. I keep just like trying to dress a little different and like I've been trying to get my TikTok on.
But tell people a little bit about your like services or your website, kind of, because like you have a website, and you don't really talk about it much, but literally you're one of the best consultants in the game, and you've reduced your prices dramatically for this like new era of cannabis.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying
it's like you can go on there, and for anyone at home that has an issue that like literally wants to do a video call for like an hour, they can book like an hour on there right now and book an hour and buy it. If it's a commercial facility, you're doing like a commercial facility rate for this, but you have
still inexpensive.
you have like consulting, or you have home grow, like commercial, and then like design and build out like sections to your website where you can book something at treat-consulting.com.
Yes.
Can't be treatconsulting.com because that's something totally else, like oil and gas, or I don't even know what the fuck it is, but treat-consulting. And then you can book appointments. So like if you guys would like to really get tips and tricks on, how to whatever, talk about implementing salts or pests and disease is something that you kind of specialize in also. But
some people,
everything really, like.
That's so. Well, some people will send in pictures, like even because Instagram, all these different platforms now make it so easy. I'm saying the website is fantastic. Please go to the website actually, because it keeps it all in one consolidated space. That does make it fantastic. But I think that like sending in pictures is so helpful. Like we can do a lot with pictures. It's
basically a Zoom call that you can do too with the people, so that you literally can show, like, hold your laptop up and show your tent or something like that, and then you can walk them through what you're seeing. And
I'm trying to do like this new thing where I'm trying to group it all together for like a flat rate for like the home growers, where I kind of set them up with like my salt mix and like kind of like different IPM things, SOP for like a smaller space.
Smart. So you're talking about like a JLo package.
A JLo package.
Like,
and then I'll sell
you like a clone or two. And
exactly.
Like the nutrients to grow it, like an IPM program to keep the bugs away.
Yep.
And it all comes in like a suitcase.
It all comes in a suitcase.
Pink, knowing you.
It's gonna be a nice
pink
suitcase.
with like frilly laces on it or something. Yeah.
You gotta treat yourself.
It's a cool idea. I bet people would be into that. Just kind of, not even necessarily for the total newbie, but for the people that are like, I want to kind of run like a new program and some elite genetics, and it all comes under one price tag. It'd be something like awesome to give someone for Christmas.
I think like honestly is my goal is to make it where we can start building off of it, where if it's an affordable rate and it really gets people to like use it and get comfortable with it, is like if they really start trusting the quality of their product and it starts making it inexpensive in the long run, is I think that we could build it off of it as a community. It would be cool on the show or like on the websites, all these things, to be able to talk about it. And for reals, like people don't have to love every part. It's like, it just be.
I mean, it sounds like you need to get it ready by Christmas to me, because it sounds like a really cool like gift. I just think of like people give the weirdest shit at Christmas to people, and it's like, I'm gonna give you like the gift of growing, and it comes in a pink box. And it's gonna have like clones and it's like a brew yourself at home kit that everyone gets for Christmas, and it has like a little bag of yeast and a couple of bottles, and it's like, here's the instructions, put this in the dark for like 3 months and you'll have beer.
Yeah, except if you're a woman, you don't want to be like selling yeast bags, but yeah.
Well, I'm just talking about like I'm just talking about like building a kit that you'll sell like to someone that they can kind of give away. I'm sure you could even bundle that in with probably our guy Mike at Hydro Grow.
Maybe you could do a raffle on your show for me.
You want to raffle off something?
If you could raffle off the package for Christmas.
Yeah,
like
we could. I definitely do that. We'll have you back and you can raffle off a JLo package. We got to come up with a clever name for it. But yeah, it's a good idea. I like it. Or even, like I say, the people that potentially, I don't know, almost like, everyone buys all their shit like almost subscription based now through Amazon, where it's like, I have X number of toilet paper coming to the house every 3 weeks and blah, blah, blah. Like people have charted their lives in that way.
Yeah.
You might be able to set up some sort of subscription service to like the nutrient, where it's like every 3 or 4 months, like you get a package in the mail that has like, it's like dog food. It's like your dog food needs to be refilled all the time. You shouldn't be changing your dog food, really. You shouldn't be changing your nutrients. So you just figure out how much people are going to use and then create like a recurring subscription service to it that it just keeps it coming. Like the milkman, but it's the nutrient lady. JLo, salt, nutrient.
I love this.
I don't know. We're free balling ideas now.
I think that this is going to be my goal now. I'm telling you. is, yeah, I think that I really want to start like doing like small stuff, like as far as like clothing and like measurement utensils and like really refining like the tools. You know, like I get so annoyed working in the grow with like just like normal shit that no matter your size, like a lot of stuff doesn't fit right or like it's not comfortable, but they want you to wear your PPE, but like the goggles will hurt your eyes or like press or like, you know, just these like mild changes that I really start.
You want to bring fashion into PPE is what you're talking about? Totally. There's no such thing as a cute fucking Tyvek suit. So, yeah.
They're giving you like an extra, like a triple X large, you know, they're handing over, they're like, Jay, is this gonna work? Like, sweet.
They really don't sell small, like extra small or small Tyvek suits for like.
It's like
ladies.
medium's the smallest, which is a large
Which
or
is for a fat
extra
guy,
large.
yeah. It's for a 6-foot fat guy.
Yeah, and then they're like, when they come in for the inspections, they're like, you know, show me how you fit. And it's like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Like, you know, I think it'd be cool to do that stuff.
Very cool. I don't have a whole lot more for the show.
Well-
I think we probably made it. How long did we go? Yeah, we're almost an hour.
Look at how.
So-
Do you have anything that you're excited about with the changes that we've made?
I mean, well, yeah, I'm excited for the potentially not ever having heavy metal issues again in my life because there's no heavy metals involved. So I have extreme confidence that I'm like, okay, I figured out how to grow cannabis commercially without ever having a risk of heavy metal issues. But yeah, it's a little early in the game for me to like
I know.
what I like and don't like yet.
The really exciting part is we have like our real first run officially starting in just, I mean, they're clones. So we're getting ready to pull them out right now. And that's going to be our first official run of this system.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of the flour hasn't even really made it to the marketplace yet because it's been either fresh frozen or hashed or done other things with up till this point. But yeah, the goal is there'll be some Dark Horse flour back on the marketplace here. We'll load up 4 or 5 shops and tell y'all where to go get it.
And we have a lot of strains that are going to be like exciting to like, that's the coolest part about, yeah, what we're working on is I feel like we have so many strains, so much like of a library.
So many strains.
We have just so much that we're working with.
All right, I'm going to free shit. I haven't given away free shit in a long fucking time, but free shit.
It's free!
I didn't give away a lot of free shit this year because I was behind on the nugget shit forever, but I'm going to give away to 3 different winners tonight. And I don't have any packs in front of me, but I had a cool idea, at least what I thought it was cool. It'd be good market research for myself. Well, a couple of announcements, actually. So you guys need to get C-Bazaar Premium because Daz is doing his drop with some Night Owl, and there will be a Dark Owl drop on the same night, October 13th. So you're going to need Premium for October. And then we're chopping our banner S1s on Halloween. So they'll be ready a few weeks after that. But there's also a bunch of banner hybrids that we made. Reverse banner hybrids to a lot of interesting shit coming right behind that, which will be available more like Thanksgiving. But there's a lot of new cool drops coming up. But what I am interested in hearing or doing for this giveaway is send me an email to darkhorsegeneticslive@gmail.com, and I will pick 3 people. And I'm not going to, in the subject line, you can write, I really want. And then in the body of the email, I want you to like 3 strains from Dark Horse that you wish you had seeds of right now. And if I have them, I'll send it to you. Whatever your number 1 pick is, I'll send it to you. But I'm curious as to what the audience is like. I wish I had these seeds. Like, these are the ones I wish I could buy, is what I'm getting at. I don't care if it's sold out, if it's not sold out. You just put what you wish you could buy. The top 3 strains that you want to get. And if I have it, I'll give it to you for 3 people. I'll pick give me 3 numbers, J-Lo.
Ooh, could I do like 17,
That's really early, but go ahead. Yeah, bigger numbers than that. But yeah, 17 can be 1.
63,
Okay.
and what about 87?
Okay, so the 17th, the 63rd, and the 87th person that send me an email that says, I really want, and then in the body of the email, you tell me 3 strains, and I will pick 3 people, and I'll send you the one that I have, assuming I have it for you. I should have something for you, but yeah, let me know what you're after. I'm just curious. I want to go through them and see what everyone's top 3 requests are. So let me know. And if you want to write me a note or something, I'm going to read all of these this time. It's been a minute since we've done free shit. So yeah, enjoy the free shit, the people that win the packs. and we'll let you know next week who we chose, so you know. But yeah, that's all we have for this week. I'm gonna go do a little sponsor push here real fast. First of all, let's do my buttons. 100K Grand Prix, we talked about at the top of the show. It's no drama there, a little strange, but if you want to come to this event, we would appreciate it. If you want to come down, it's a winner-take-all cash prize tournament. We're calling it the 100K Grand Prix because we hope to get 200 people to sign up and give away 100 grand. If we don't get 200 people, it will be a winner-take-all prize pool from whatever amount of entries that we have. I don't have the exact number off the top of my head. I have to go look. I keep saying I'll tell you guys, but I haven't looked in like 2 weeks. But there's been a few sign-ups in the past few weeks. We definitely need more concentrate sign-ups. So this year we're trying to do 2 categories. One will be a concentrate category, and one will be a flower category. It can be any kind of flower. It doesn't matter, sativa, indica, whatever, hybrid. We're not doing that. We just flower category and a concentrate category. It's 2 ounces of flower and $500. Again, winner take all cash prize. So your $500 goes to the winner. It might be you. You might take your $500 straight back home with you. But yeah, it's $500 winner take all cash prize. It goes down the 1st through the 3rd. It'll be streamed live on this channel. We'll probably get a few other cool cannabis people to stream it on their channel, hopefully. Stone Ninja and shit, I'm talking to you. Ninja should be the host of the thing. Hopefully it'll be, I say, in Las Vegas, December 1st through the 3rd. 2 different categories you can enter, hash or flower. And if you enter, you're a judge yourself. So you need to be present, or you can send a surrogate like replacement for yourself if you can't smoke for some reason. But yeah, you will judge, and it's streamed live. So if you don't want to have your face shown or something like that, we can probably have a table, or we allow people to wear masks or do whatever the fuck they want to do. But it is streamed live. It's about a 4-hour event. You got to smoke a shit ton of weed. And on December 3rd, we announce the winners live, streamed live also, and have a party that night. A pretty cool little get-together. We'll try an open bar while it lasts, and we smoke all the rest of the cannabis that didn't win, and have a good time. So yeah, I hope everyone comes down. It's Las Vegas, December 1st through the 3rd. Go to 100kgrandprix.com and sign up. All right. Also, I want to shout out a couple of our friends real quick. CBR Premium, I told you to get CBR Premium because it's serious. The Daz Night Owl drop is coming October 13th. The premium side, the regular side will be on the 15th. But there's also 3 new Dark Owl strains being dropped right there. And it's a little Easter egg for you. I think we might have a hoodoo blessing going on. There might be some Friday the 13th weirdo, Halloween-o kind of action going on. So Daz and I are talking about doing something. I'm not sure what, if anything yet. But yeah, Halloween, not really Halloween, October, Friday the 13th. There's a new drop going down, and you need to be premium to grab that one. Also, Banner S1s are coming right around the corner, and a bunch of Banner feminized hybrids coming around the corner too that you guys will probably not want to miss out. So grab the premium. And yeah, Grower's Choice lighting. We use Grower's Choice. We like them. Pull a lot of good seed. Do good crops with them. Like their lighting setup, their controllers, like their warranty exchange program, like their rebate program a lot. They were really cool with the rebates. So hit up Grower's Choice. A lot of your favorite breeders use Grower's Choice. Just ask them. And Dutch. Shout out to Dutch. Dutch has a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel. He's an avid listener and follower of the show. He's a hobbyist cannabis breeder and a grower. He has more seeds than you and your best friend together. He buys all of the seeds. He's awesome. But more than that, he has a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel where he is known to he's got way more subscribers in this channel, but definitely go subscribe. If you subscribe to this channel, you should be subscribing to Dutch. And go subscribe to Dutch Cincy. It looks like sense, but Dutch Cincy. It's just how it's spelled on the screen. Give him a follow on YouTube and Twitch. He talks about he talks about earthquakes, and he can kind of predict where the next earthquakes are going to be relatively accurately. And he's all about readiness, preparedness. And let's just say this, a lot of major news networks watch his show, like every day. He streams all the time, every day. Dutch is like one of the coolest people, and I genuinely want you to go give him a follow, please. All right. Toker Poker, we love you, but I need more Toker Pokers, please. I think that's it for this week. We are going to sign the fuck off, and we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. J-Lo, thanks for stopping by and studio guest. I'll let you say your sign-off last words.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Hanging out with you guys. I also want to shout out really quick Michelle Barnhill. So much love. It's awesome to see another female out there just crushing. Yep, that's all.
Go follow JLo. Her Instagram is jbird_JLo. Go to treat-consulting.com to check out consulting and clones available. She's got a lot of clones up there. And watch her show on YouTube. Treat Show 900 is the name of the account. Treat Show 900 every Sunday at 7:10. She does a cool show too. She's real smart. She knows stuff. All right, everybody, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Same bad time, same bad channel next week. Peace. Go buy some seeds from the Seed Bazaar and shit, everybody. Peace.
Little pale gay fish, come sit on my shoulder today. Little gay parrot fish, sit on my shoulder today and make me a fried shrimpy dish with some soy sauce, baby. As the beat drops, super fried. Super fried egg roll, triple fried fried rice. Triple fried rice, baby. 2 for 1 egg roll. Super triple fried rice, triple fried rice, baby. Don't forget the soy sauce. Chan chan chan. There's my gay fish song, dudes. What?